arek.
Kak.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We were from fourth group. We want to present about teaching grammar to children. First of all, I want to introduce myself and my friend. My name is Tiara Madani.
My name is Triadwin.
My name is Vira Herlin.
My name is Auria Rizky Ramadhani.
Okay, the first of all is a place of grammar. Grammar is an order system and structure in language related to vocabulary combination that have certain meanings and uses in language. It can be said that grammar in learning for young students actually has no definite place because young students will find it difficult to understand the existence of grammar in language lessons. Actually, grammar learning in young students already exists naturally in their mother tongue, and also the ability of grammar will naturally increase. I want to give an idea of the existence of grammar that occurs naturally during continuous learning. This is the conversation between teachers and students. Teachers say that, what is that? Students answer, it is an. And then teachers answer, is it big or small? And then student, it is small. How small is that? And then students answer, this small, with demonstrating small size with a hand. And then teachers answer, this small, imitating the student's hands, and student is nodding. And teacher, yes, it was very small. Young students know that ants are indeed small. With addition, the words was and very, which emphasize better grammar and correct in the small description of the ant. The simple phrase that introduced to the young learner may seem like vocabulary than grammar, but actually this has an episode of grammar teaching because the meaning of very is little or just an adjective word. Not only that, young learner learn new structure in the language with the addition of new words to express something. Move on to the next, please. It can be concluded from the above conversation that there are several points to begin about grammar and young students. The first is, grammar is necessary to express precise meaning and language. The second is, grammar ties closely into vocabulary in learning and using the foreign language. And the third is, grammar learning can evolve from the learning of chunks language. And the fourth is, grammar can be taught without technical levels. And the fifth is, talking about something meaningful with the child can be useful way to introduce new grammar.
Okay, so the next is different meaning of grammar. The word grammar itself is referred to an aspect of how English language is conventionally used. For example, the structure or system of a particular language. But grammar is also used to refer the way system is described by linguists and to internal mental representation of the language that an individual has built up. And there are three different meanings of grammar. The first is the grammar of language. The second is theoretical and pedagogic grammars. And the third is internal grammar. The first, the grammar of language. It's the systematic study and description of language. It's a set of rules and examples dealing with the syntax and word structure of a language. So, for example, Spanish being spoken in Spanish-speaking homes, school, shops, factories, television in Canada, Spain, and England. So every time native speaker of Spanish use the language, they are recreate to express their ideas or needs to other people. And each time Spanish is used, it changes a little for people using it. And the second is theoretical and pedagogic grammars. So theoretical linguists concern themselves with finding and describing the patterns in the use of language. There are two kinds that we found in the book. The first is Chomskyan linguists. They describe the language as it is internalized in the mind or brain, rather than is it produced by the speaker. Their main goal is to explore and unify the similarities in syntax across all languages. And the second is Hallidayan linguists. They view language as a tool for expressing meaning. They categorize language in terms of how meaning is expressed and produce functional grammar. And then pedagogical grammar are explicit description or patterns rules in a language presented in ways that are helpful to teachers or learners. So the teacher need an overview and description of the whole of the language to be taught, but learners will encounter the pedagogical grammar bit by bit, as part of it are introduced in the textbook units. And the third is internal grammar. Internal grammar is sometimes referred to as interlanguage or as linguistic competence. So directly from a learner's grammar book or indirectly through lessons and teacher explanation or books, learners will meet pedagogical grammar. A further key distinction needs to be made between this grammar and what any individual learner will learn about the patterns of language, his or her internal grammar of the language. So every learner's internal grammar is different from each other because each has a unique learning experience.
Okay, and then the next is development of the internal grammar. A view of language learning as emerging from language use in which repeat, meaningful encounters with form of the language produce dynamic and evolving language research. In development of the internal grammar, there are three ways. The first is from birth to grammar. There is evidence from adult second language learning and from school-based foreign language learning that in the beginning stage, learners seem to use words or chants strung together to get their meaning across with little attention paid to grammar that would fit the words or chant together in conventional pattern. Cognitive psychology suggests that our brain or mind work always with a limited amount of attention capacity that is available to concentrate on getting a task achieved when the task is communicating in an idea or message through the foreign language. Then it is seemed that finding the right words takes up attention early on, but that once those words or chunks are well known, using them takes up less capacity and attention is freed grammar. And then the second is learning through hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing as the rather grand name given to mental processes that are evident from a very early age. For example, as a baby drops her spoon, watch someone pick it up for her and then drop it again so that it will be picked up again. The baby appears to have constructed a hypothesis. If I drop my spoon, it will be picked up for me, and to be testing in through repeated trials. Children do not just produce random word ordering and form, but they somehow work out how to use the language and then try out their hypotheses in saying things, amending them when they hear alternative version. And then the third is influence of the first language. When you have only encountered 500 words and might be 50 phrases, it is quite hard to work out grammatical rules, and hypotheses are likely to be over generalized and incomplete. So children learning French might assume that the Swiss, or in English, I am, can be translated as the pronoun I and use it together with other verb. For example, is a J use apple. Next.
Okay, so the next is learning approach to teaching grammar. There are 4 in this chapter, and the first is trends in teaching grammar. The way of teaching young teachers today, is influenced by a trend, such an example in the syllabus in Malaysia and Hong Kong, or etc. Some trends are significant and some have negative impact. Each of those perspectives on language teaching takes a different view of learning process, and we can clarify the important part by examining practice through research on learning. And the teaching grammar as explicit rules or learning building blocks. In this chapter, rules are introduced explicitly to young learners. For example, the past tense, and etc. And the terms and organization need to talk about language become another part of what has to be learned. And the third is communicative approach, no grammar needed. This method becomes less effective when practiced directly. So the instructor should adopt more way of teaching. And the fourth is focus on the form. What we are seeing now, the revival of grammar teaching, is communicating through a language learning that a language can actually conflict with each other, and that focusing on the meaning in the classroom. The next is principle for learning grammar teaching. The first is the need for grammar. So grammatical accuracy and precision is matter for meaning. The form will not be learned accurately without attention to form. The form focus in structure is particularly relevant for those features. And the next is potential conflict between meaning and grammar. If learners' attention is directed to expressing meaning, they may neglect attention to accuracy and precision. And the next is importance of attention in the learning process. In this, teaching can help learners notice and attend to feature of grammar in the language they heard and read, or speak and write. And the next is the importance of attention in the learning process. Oh no, sorry. Learning grammar as the development of internal grammar. So the grammar learning can work outwards from participation in discourse, from vocabulary, and from learned chunks. And the last is the role of explicit teaching of grammar rules. This is the children can master meta language if it is well taught, and it can be a useful tool.
So the next is teaching techniques for supporting grammar learning. There are the 5 points in this chapter. The first is working from discourse to grammar. Discuss classes and context and routines can serve to introduce the new grammar with access to meaning that is supported by action and object to provide further practice in language that has been introduced by the other means. The first is the language of classroom and management. When the children begin the learning English, it makes a simple phrase for classroom management can be introduced. As time goes by, they can be expanded. The second is talking with the children. When we start conversation with the individual children, can be very powerful for language development because they can pick up on exactly what an individual child needs to know the next to talk about what is interests him or her. Talk with other in the class can also offer incidental focus on from. Also, grammar may not be central language learning goal of a task. It can be part of what the task is about. The second is with noticing activity. There are two concepts: listen to note and notice, and second, presentation of the language with debates. Listen to connected sentence of each of speech. To complete the grid, they need to pay attention in the grammatical aspect of teaching. Hallyu in 1992 suggests the use of a grid to practice the preposition. The presentation of the new language with two kids. In the language syllabus that require teachers to present the new language regularly to children, in the idea of the learner noticing can be helpfully to introduce more traditional ways of the teaching grammar. When introduce a new pattern, the teacher can construct a dialogue with a storyline that use a repetition plus context pattern to be played out properly. Okay, the third is a language practice activity that offers activities. The goal is help to learn, internalize the grammar pattern. Focus in on internal work that happen as the result of activities, text, synapse, actually rather than fluency in the product. So there are 4 points from this language practice activity that offers structuring opportunities. The first is questionnaire, survey, and quizzes. The teachers need to plan which language from the pupils with the object to use. Preparation and rehearsal to question is necessary to increase accuracy, and the activity must be managed so that the questions are accessible in each time. The language use questionnaire activity can easily become the ready to something. And second is informal gap activities. Activities with informal gap are often found in the course book to practice oral skills. Children work in pairs, each has calendar covering the same month, but with different materials in the gap. Third is helping hands. This is nice practice activity to opportunities of structuring the simple present for routine. The topic was held in the house and the children aged 5 or 6 years old. And then the fourth, drills and chants. Drills have been used in language classroom for teachers in the useful way of giving a children some speaking practice when the class is too large for individual speaking. Repetition drills in which the children repeat what the teacher say can help in familiarizing a save from. But substitution drill are the ones that over more for grammatical structuring. So the next slides, okay. So in the proceduralizing activities, in this point, we want to learn about automatics that use grammatical form so it's available quickly and effectively for use communication. The grammar is essential for achieving text goals and some attention accuracy is required. But the idea is the attention to accuracy can be gradually be relaxed in the becomes automatic. So there are the 2 points in this procedure racing activity. The first is polar animal description revisited, and then the second is distoglos. Okay, the polar animal, this is doing the description does need some grammatical knowledge that has already a internal grammar to noticing and structuring. The production of a description to whole grammar because it's a public performance. It will justify attention to getting form exactly right through rehearsing and perhaps writing down the text. Pupil choose their animal so that they will have select the adapt the grammar form for their own particular choose. Second is dictogloss. The basic idea of dictogloss is that teacher read our text several times. The pupils listen, make notes between reading, and then reconstruct the text in pairs of small groups, aiming to be as close as possible to original and accurate as possible. Okay, then the last is introducing metalingual. So there are the consists of 2 points. The first is explicit teacher talk, and then the close activities for word class. The explicit teacher task is the teacher doing some metalingual work pupil on plural form in English. And then the second close activities from the word class. A new rhyme song for poem could give a discourse context in focus on the word class. So as simple close activities. In the song, say is written out with the gap in one version, all the noun, omit in another, all verb and pronouns. Okay, enough for these materials. Thank you. Last we say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.